Hi guys, can you hear me? Give me 1 second. Sir, you're my hero. I just adore you. And just, I'm speechless. And thank you so much for all that you said about me today. I appreciate you. Second thing I want to do is I want to say, if you guys have any crypto needs and need a to protect your crypto by a firewall and have your own personal broker, please sign up using my link free for Caleb and Brown. Also, I wanted to apologize for not being on. I just been really, really sick. As you all know, I was rushed to the hospital with severe dehydration and pneumonia. So I'm just still recovering. But I missed you all, and here I am. Wells' appointment went phenomenal. I'll get into that. And then I also have a bank story from Chase. Actually, 2 bank stories from Chase and a bank story from Bank of America. Can you guys hear me? Can you give me a 5x5, please? Are my mods on? Pneumonia is very, very tough to get over when you have like a very weak immune system. Can you guys hear me? Should I restart, or can you give me a 5x5, please? I'm still very weak, guys. I need a 5x5 before I get started. Hi, Shalita. Shalita, I'm gonna she has an incredible bank story. As you could see, it's very tough for me to talk and Chat GPT. What's up? All right, let me give you some updates, and then I'll go on to the bank stories, and then we'll do a short Q&A, and then I'll be off, okay? All right, so the updates, as you all know, they agreed on the oil, which in my opinion is the HCL. Once you see the HCL, you will see the rate publicly. Also, I posted for that note, the $1 note, it's the 1931 King Faisal note. What that means is that they're ready to go back to the old times. That was presented to a lock in London by the guy from the BIS. So they've become members of the BIS again, Iraq. Also, Sudani, Alak, and Mr. T were all in London together. Sudani is going to be with Mr. T at the United Nations on the 21st and 22nd and 23rd of this month. Here's a smile. Also, Iraq signed a huge contract for $100 billion, which is not 130 trillion in dinars. It's a different number. Okay. What else? Let's see. Sudani is basically like pushing everything to go like very quick. The COM, which is the Council of Ministers, approved all the oil from the Kurdistan region to be transported via the Turkey pipeline. Also, Turkey has agreed on the water. Remember, water equals rate as well. Remember, you were told all that? Water is part of all of this. From Turkey, they're going to start giving Iraq water. And guys, they're doing stuff like the oil contract. It's a contract. It's not an MOU. For them to sign a contract, they have to have a rate. And all this is in my opinion, and this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. It's a 1931 King Faisal note, and I posted what it means. It means they're going to be going back to the old times, which means they're going to reinstate, which means they're going to RI, which means they're going to come on the Forex with their old rate of 322 plus inflation, and they're going to float. And the float is going to be based on supply and demand. As far as Vietnam is concerned, Vietnam was given the green light by the IMF to proceed with their currency revaluation. We have verified it, and so we're expecting Vietnam. Vietnam is ready. I'm still being told they're all going together, but I'm kind of thinking Vietnam might just go first. But we'll see what happens. So the rate I'm hearing for Vietnam is $2 to $2.25, but I'm being told that it's going to be higher. But this is what I've always heard. It's my opinion. We'll see what happens. I could be surprised with Vietnam and dinar and Indonesia. I'm also very, very strongly believing, in my opinion, that the Venezuelan Bolivar, the Digitalis Sabriano, the VES, is going in the first basket. So I'm still being told they're all going together, but my gut, something with my gut is telling me Vietnam is just going to pull the trigger. You got to remember, Vietnam has already been floating, and Vietnam and Indonesia are on Forex. They have never been removed from Forex. Also, I posted in my chats that when I went on to IMF yesterday, there's no, first of all, the rates for the Iraqi dinar are not listed at all for the year 25. And when you go on the other page, like when you look at the exchange rates for currency, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Iraq are not listed on any of them. So that tells me something. What I believe is Venezuela. I think that Maduro has been caught already. I think that, in my opinion, they already have the new government planned. And as soon as, like, in public, they're going to announce that Maduro's been caught, they're going to announce the new government. Venezuela is going to change their rate, and it's going to go public. Venezuela is very rich in a lot of stuff. So that's what my belief is. But they didn't, Tony V, they have not announced publicly of his arrest yet. They just announced that the USA invaded them. Also, I posted an article about Zimbabwe, that the Central Bank of Zimbabwe is finished using the dollar. I'll post that as well. War Admiral, I have to disagree with you on that. David Higby, you can go away. Mods, can you get rid of him, please? And also, I believe that in the second basket, all the African countries are going to go. In my opinion, like Nigeria, South Africa, etc. Well, as I said, to answer your question, I've said that Iraq has changed their value as of August 19th. And I'm going to say that in my opinion. So, and Vietnam, as far as the 100,000 that they were supposed to get, it's pending until the new rate is announced. Because if like Selena said, if they were, it's worthless. So it's gonna go this month, guys. In my very strong opinion, it's gonna. You have an article saying that the IMF actually told Vietnam that they have the green light to change their currency. Okay? Plus, you have the central bank governor meeting with the BIS. They're full members of the BIS again. Okay? They also, once you go, unless you get an exception, like for like an extension, it's usually 48 to 72 hours post like being reinstated on the BIS. BIS is the Bank of International Settlements, for you to have your rate on Forex. But Vietnam and Indonesia are already on Forex. Also, and I've posted screenshots of this, Vietnam, Iraq, and Indonesia are no longer exotic, they're minor, which is a big deal also. And Kim Clement prophesied when all the chaos, that's when everything is going to change, including the Iraqi dinar. The Iraqi dinar was the global currency. They were the highest currency, and they're going to go back to it. And that was that 1931 King Faisal bill is. That's what it's saying. Cali girl, rate for what, hon? I'm being told that the rates I'm being told are going to be a lot higher. But we'll see. Thank you, Nate. I heard. Yeah, always been told that the IQD is the linchpin, but you guys got to remember, how long can other countries wait on Iraq? I mean, they're gonna increase their tariffs and all that other stuff. So I'm still being told they're going together, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Don't kill me for it. All right, so I'm gonna get into talk about what happened with the bank today, and then I'll read a bank story, and then I'll have somebody on to tell their bank story. Mishi, do you think we have to wait until next week? In my opinion, no. I think it's gonna happen before that. For the Indonesian rupiah, 105 to 117, in my opinion. Mr. T wants everybody on an equal level playing field. Okay, so this is what happened. This was my third appointment. I went in. Once again, it was the premier banker and a relationship banker. They did a whole bunch of promoting all their like 401ks, their, different things that, you would need for investments and stuff like that. They took a lot of time for that. It was a 90-minute appointment. Then what was interesting, because they said to bring your mobile device, okay? So I did. They uploaded the Wells Fargo app, and they actually put alerts on my mobile phone for the IQD, VND, and the Indonesian rupiah. Told me to watch those alerts. Set up another appointment for Monday at 11. And I said to the premier banker, I said, so will I be exchanging my Iraqi dinar, Vietnamese dong, and Indonesian rupiah on Monday? He smiled and he said, see you Monday. So I believe they have it. They have a new digital system they're working on. And that's the reason that you have to bring your mobile device. And that was Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo. And they said to watch the app too, like for the alerts for the change. Not denying anything, and smiled. They had a big smile and was like, see you Monday. I'm on the East Coast. You guys will hear the BOA, the Bank of America bank story. You guys are going to get really excited. And this is going to be my 4th appointment on Monday. And in my opinion, I am going to go exchange. Because he didn't say no. He just gave me this big, huge smile. Like, see you Monday. So, I'm going to read you now a bank story from Chase. I'm very excited, guys. And they were promoting their products like I was already a multi-millionaire, which I'm nowhere near that. You know what I mean? So, they know. They're not wasting time on people. I was there over, like, I would say like close to 2 hours. So, okay, here's the bank story from Chase from today. Hello, family. I had my appointment this morning at Chase at 10:30 in the morning. I was extremely satisfied. I met with 2 people today, regular associate banker and a private client manager. At that time, the branch manager and the wealth manager came to see me. They upgraded my account and told me they will see me on Tuesday at 1 p.m. When asked all of the questions that you guys normally put in the chat, they answered every question. They told me that yes, the currency will revalue. They're just waiting on it. So they also said that there's a cash bonus offer for upgrading your account for the wealth management. This happened at my bank in Orlando, Florida. They also told me that they're buying foreign currencies, but at this time they're not selling any. And when I mentioned to them to bring my currency back on Tuesday, the manager looked at me. Hold on. Let's see, hold on. Where was the other? Manager looked at me. I'm missing the one part. I asked them, do they accept foreign currency? They said yes. I asked them when could I expect the RV to take place. They answered and said really soon. I asked them what currency do they accept, and I have 3 pages of currencies listed they gave me. I also asked, do they know the rates? They said yes, but they did not give them to me. I asked how soon, in their opinion, that they think this would take place. That's when the manager winked, didn't, and telling me to come back on Tuesday at 1, and said sooner than you think. Oh, I forgot. They hugged her and said congrats. And this was from Chase from today. That was Shalita's bank story. Shalita, if you could put any more details in the chat, I would appreciate it. Now I'm gonna call. Give me a second. I gotta call. John, I'm gonna call you right now. Just give me 1 second. Can you guys hear me?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Can you talk a little louder? Can you guys hear him?
Here, let me get off of my earpiece and get into the speaker here and see if that helps.
Wait till you guys hear this bank story. He has 2. He has one from Bank of America and also Chase.
Can you guys hear me any better?
Can you guys hear him? Can you guys just say, can you try to talk just a little bit louder?
Yeah, I can try to talk a little bit louder. Is that any better?
Is that better? Yeah, they can hear you. Go ahead, John. Just tell them what state you're in and what banks, but just don't tell the city.
Alrighty, I'm in Florida, and I went to Bank of America. I went there the day before, and I opened an account with a personal banker or a relationship banker, just to show good faith that I was wanting to do banking with them. And while I was there, I told the guy that I held a couple currencies and I wanted to talk to a wealth manager about exchanging and then reinvesting. He didn't argue not once. He immediately said, yeah, I can set you up an appointment. And then he turned his screen around, and there was an appointment as early as the next day at 12 o'clock. So I took it. So the next day I went over and I met with the wealth manager. Like you, immediately, they were pitching their services at me. And I kind of told them whatever they wanted to hear so that we can keep the conversation rolling. But I told them, hey, I have currencies that I want to exchange with you guys and then reinvest. And he asked me which ones I had. I told him it was the IQD and the VND. And he literally turned his screen around and was on the LFX and showed me all the currencies. And he said, well, they don't have favorable rates right now. And I say, yeah, but they will. And I need you to contact me when that happens. He said, yeah, sure. Then I reiterated that, it's going to get better. From what I'm hearing, we're going to get one at $3.86 for the IQD, in my opinion. And in my opinion, on the VND, we're going to start off at 2. And these are going to float. So, there can be multiple transactions in here. And, my whole goal is to just make a relationship with you and do this exchange and then do business with you later. And he said, well, sounds good. He said, no, so how are you going to know when these things, when this event happens? He said, I get alerts. He said, I can actually set an alert on the screen right now. So he pulled up the screen and he told me, he said, you know what, I got to delete some alerts because they're all on and I don't have any space. He actually deleted 2 of his existing alerts so that he can turn on the alert for IQD and VND. We shook hands. I told him that it was, I was looking forward to doing business with him. And he immediately nodded with a big smile and said, yes, sir. He said, and then he gave me his card. He said, if you happen to hear about the event before I get to you, then you call me and we'll get you in here. So and then when I was done with him, I was feeling lucky. And I said, you know what, I'm going to head over to Chase Bank. So I went over to Chase Bank, and this is a Chase Bank that I had a really negative experience with before. And I'm just attempting to walk in there. I don't have an appointment or anything. I go up to the teller, and I tell her, hey, I need to speak to somebody in private banking. I want to exchange some foreign currency, and I got quite a bit of it, and I'm not going to be able to do it here at the teller line. At first, she misunderstood and thought that I was trying to purchase, and I had to clarify with her, and she, tried to go south on me and say that we don't do that here, blah, 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 and I said, I can show you right now a live chat where people are reporting that right here in Florida, there are branches, Chase branches, they're at appointments, and they're getting second appointments because everybody knows that this is about to happen. She got quiet, and I said, hey, I'll tell you what. If you can give me just 2 minutes of the private banker's time, I just want to stick my head in there, introduce myself, let her know what I hold, and then ask her to contact me if she wants to do business. She said okay, and she walked the floor and went over to the private banker's office, and I saw them talking, and I saw that the private banker looked over at me, and shortly after she nodded her head yes. The teller came back over to me and said, she has a 2 o'clock appointment, so she has to be really quick with you, but she said that she'll take you. So check that out. I walk in, I don't have an appointment, I'm a walk-in, literally, and she still makes some time for me. I sat with her, I introduced myself, kind of the same deal that I did with Bank of America. She was very positive, didn't act like it was a scam, didn't deny anything. And then we ended our note with a handshake and hoping to do business in the future.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Different feel.
Because they know. That's the thing. They know,
Absolutely.
and they're ready for it. And like I said, in my opinion, they're all done. I mean, everything is done. All they have to do is put it on Forex. And just to explain to you guys what he's talking about, the OFX. So the OFX, it's different than the OFAC. So the OFAC is where they have the currencies that are sanctioned. The OFX is where they get the rates that are going to hit Forex. So that's how they see the rates prior to the rates going publicly on Forex, just so you understand. You understand what I'm saying? So the OFX, because people ask, how did the banks get to see the rates prior to them being on Forex? They use a system, it's called the OFX. The OFX is that's from, when you come in the banks and like they have like their back office rates. They use the OFX for that. And the supply and demand is how people buy and sell the currency. That's what drives the rate. So that's how, like, so the rates get updated early in the morning, and throughout the day they just fluctuate, they go up and down. Ophelia Cruz, how much currency? You just, like I said, and John, can you tell the people, was I correct and when I said that you need an account for the banks to talk to you and for them to exchange, or they shouldn't open an account? Can you please tell them?
Absolutely. That's going to show good faith. It's going to show that you want to do business with them. You got to understand, when you bring that kind of money, or the possibility of that kind of money, you're going to 10x their lending power. They want that. When you go there, just like Maria said, you need their services, but they need you more than you need them. You got to go in there with that kind of confidence.
And plus, when you have an account with them, they already know you. You have built a relationship with them. So once it hits, they're going to call you. You understand what I'm saying? And you can't just walk in there and be like, oh, hey, I want to exchange $1 million. They're going to look at you like you're a nut. No matter how much you have, you still have to have an account. When you call the bank to even set up an appointment or ask them any questions, you have to, they ask you, that's the first question they ask you. Do you have an account with us? Are you a customer with us? Is that correct, John, or not?
That's correct. And there's nothing like putting a face to a name. You do it over the phone. That's weightless. When you sit there with that person, you get to see who you are. You get to observe their personality, and then vice versa as well. A relationship starts to get built right there and then. You can get engraved in their memory. They know who to call. They saw your face.
They went over the perks. John, did they go over the perks with you?
They went over the perks. We kind of did that really quickly because I told them we'll get into that once the exchange is done. The main goal here is to get the exchange done first, and then we'll go into diversifications and investments, reinvestments, and other private client services.
Yes, Roland, that's correct. The dong has always been on Forex. They just got a horrible rate. But it's never been taken off. The same as Indonesia. So they just got put in the exotic category. They're no longer in the exotic category. So all they have to do is flip the rate. That's it. It's not like the dinar where they have to reinstate back on Forex. You understand the difference? I have the perks and stuff like that. So, but, you want to build a relationship with them. You definitely want to have an account.
Hey Maria, I forgot to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually took my currency with me into Bank of America, and I showed it to them. And I did that to show them. I said, hey, this is just to show you that I'm not blowing hot air. I actually physically hold these currencies. He actually thought they were pretty cool. He had never seen them before.
So and they're gonna focus a lot on the Iraqi dinar, like I said, because it was used for terrorism. They're looking for it, not to be counterfeit, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yes, and just like I told John, I said the banks need you more than you need them. They want your money. So during your exchange, when you're talking about the exchange, you have to be so confident. You have to know your investment, and you have to know at the end of the day, you're the one holding the key to them. They want your money. Your money is what's going to be, making them money. So you have the upper hand on them, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Am I right, John?
Yep, and that's why I kept, you know, moving away from their pitches with their services and the perks and all, because I didn't want them to try to take control of the conversation. I maintained control of the conversation, talking about the exchange, reiterating over and over again that we would talk about services later, because you can't do any services without any money. So let's talk about money first.
Right, and they talk to you like you're already a multimillionaire when you're not.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because they know you're
exactly.
gonna be.
Yep. Yep. That's the feel. That's the vibe. Yep.
And the thing is that, what was oh, they wanted to know if you have a personal account or a business account.
They just simply asked if I had an account there at Bank of America.
No,
They
is your account at Bank of America, is it personal or business? That's what they're asking.
Oh, it's a personal. It's just a simple checking. You don't have to have anything extravagant. As long as you have an account there, it shows good faith that you want to bank with them. That's any bank, not just Bank of America. You're part of the family. You got to show that you're part of the family. You're already in the door. And, I mean, what better place to say, hey, I want to have a relationship with you that makes some money. What better place than someplace that you're already at? You're already established there.
So, hold on, let's see. What's different about this week coming up? All this occur. Do you not see everything that's going on? Like everything, absolutely everything is finished. And the HCL, they need a valuation for the HCL. They need to know how much to pay out of the oil credits from the HCL. Do you understand? If they were going to do that at 1310, if they're going to pay the salaries at 1310, they would have done it already. Why is the IMF not showing any rates for the they're not even showing the currency, Indonesia, Vietnam, or Iraq? And how come the rates are missing for Iraq for 25 and 26? Like, why? They were on there before. Yes, I did. I had my currency at my appointment. Yes. Hold on. Guys, it's very simple. I mean, John, like, tell him you were nervous. And I told him, I said, go in there with so much confidence because you are they need you more than you need them. And if they try to deny it, they're denying it because of insider trading. They're not allowed to tell you. That's the fact.
Yeah. You can't walk in there fragile. You got to walk in there confident. And once you get in there and you realize it's not as bad as you think it is, you'll start soaring. You'll know exactly what to say. You have all the information. We're giving you everything, all the questions to ask, all the dates, all the articles. They don't expect the average person to have that kind of information. So when you approach them and you have that kind of information, they know they're not talking to the average person. But you have to stand there with confidence. I was nervous as all get out. And the more and more the meeting went along, the more and more my confidence grew, and the more and more that I saw that I had control of the meeting, of the appointment. And then it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Hold on, there's a quote. He had Vietnam Dong and he had the Iraqi dinar with him. They asked what currency you had. Hold on. It's so simple, guys. Like, you walk in, you understand what I'm saying? This is what I hold, and then you're not doing it with no teller. You're doing it either with wealth management at Chase and BOA, or you're doing it with a premier banker at Wells Fargo, okay? Because of the amount of money that you hold. So, and believe me, when this changes, they're already meeting you. The branch manager greets you like you're already a multi-millionaire. You understand what I'm saying? Once it hits Forex, they will greet you. They will bring you to an office. You're going to be in the office with a closed door. You're not even going to be out, and nobody's even going to see you. And that's what they're going to do. Nobody's going to scan you. Nobody's going to do any of that, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just you're changing money for money. It's just a significant amount of money you're changing. Am I right, John?
Yeah, and I get that part. It's nerve-wracking. But what's the alternative? Miss the opportunity? You don't want to do that.
So, Pocono Ruby, is PNC involved? PNC is a tier 1 bank. And I'm hearing a lot of good stuff from PNC, and I'm even hearing they're not charging any spreads or fees actually.
I heard that from Bank of America and PNC.
Hi Jackie. Hold on, let's see. Poverty. All right, Wells Fargo. We're talking about Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase. It's not a Delarue machine. It's a currency verification machine. Let's see. All right, John, you could just stay on the phone. I'm gonna answer a couple questions and then I'm gonna get off, guys. Did you like the bank stories today? Yes, the spread is the fee that's already inside the rate. Yes. Hold on. What was this? What did this one say? Hold on one second. I was shocked how little they knew. I had to educate. Yeah, you do have to educate them sometimes. But they also act stupid also. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about all this. Of course they know. They're told exactly what to say. Hold on, let's see.
Can I give a shout out?
Huh?
Can I give a shout out?
Yeah, go ahead. Give a shout out, John. Give a shout out. To Majid.
I want to give a shout out to Shalita for her post today. Her post motivated me and got me to where I was having and I went to Chase and it turned out well. If it wasn't for that post, I don't know that I would have went over to Chase. So thank you, Shalita. Shalita, thank you.
And me telling you to go to your appointment and stop facing your fears.
Yep, exactly.
And John, can you tell them everything that I've educated and told them, is it how it was? Or should they go listen to you know who's telling you not to call, not to do anything? Or like, what's your opinion on like my information and stuff like that? Did it help you?
So my strong opinion is that everyone following Maria is in the right place. And I say that because everything was spot on. All of the information that I learned, I used, all of the dates, everything. And it was unstoppable.
And also shout out to my brother Majid. You're the man. I love you.
I hope your dog is doing good.
Yeah, his dog. Thank you to everybody that helped out yesterday. That meant so much to us. Hold on, let's see. Don't be scared. It's not like, you understand, it's not that scary. You're just going into exchange current. That's it.
They should be scared. The bank should be scared because they should want to earn your business. They're hurting. You're going to 10x their lending power.
They want your money. Bottom line, they want your money. They're going to have so many new I'm sorry, like after like I went through what I went through, it's hard for me to say words. I apologize. But they want you understand? Like there's going to be so many new millionaires. They're going to be begging you to open accounts, to, yeah, you understand what I'm saying? And you come in there, and especially when you're confident and you know your shit, stuff, they're going to be like, wow, I can no longer act like an idiot in front of this person and tell them lies. You understand what I'm saying? So
the gaslighting stops right there.
Yeah, as soon as you show them you know what you're talking about, right away their whole tune changes. Right away.
Yep.
So the insurance is the FDIC, and what's the other one? It's the STIC, I think, is the other one that's called, right? The one that's for 500K.
SIPC.
SIPC is the other one. Hold on. All right, guys. Any more questions? Because I'm about to get off now.
Maybe the other thing that I learned today was that the amount of money that you need to be in private banking at Bank of America and at PNC is not as high as it is at Chase.
Say that one more time, John. I'm sorry.
That the amount of money that you have to have in the bank to be a private client is not as high at PNC or at Bank of America as it is at Chase.
Did you guys hear that?
I don't know if that was useful information, but that's something I learned today.
Okay, hold on. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off. I'll come back on tomorrow. I'm going to go try to rest. And I appreciate Shalita and John. John, thank you so much. And Shalita, thank you so much for your bank experience. And I'll come back on tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what time. And I'm still waiting for Bob Locke to let me know when he's coming on. So thank you all so much for coming on. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Love you all. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you to my mods. All right, y'all. Bye-bye. Hold on. Hold on, John.